Welcome. Here's a quick video on how you can register a new domain name using IBM Cloud, and how you can use that new domain name to build an OpenShift cluster in AWS using your new domain name. Here is a high-level picture of what we're going to do. I'm going to first purchase a new domain name from the IBM Cloud. Since I'm using IBM Cloud to register my domain, IBM Cloud is considered my registrar. Next, I'm going to log into the AWS portal and configure a new hosted zone within the Route 53 service. I'll need to take note of the name servers that are assigned to my hosted zone for the next step. Now, all I need to do is log back into IBM Cloud and update my domain to point to the AWS name servers. When my domain is requested from any computer on the internet, the request will now be routed to the AWS name servers for lookup. There are lots of places that you can register domain names, such as GoDaddy, Domain.com, Bluehost, as well as IBM. Companies that allow you to buy domain names are referred to as domain name registrars. We will be using IBM as our domain name registrar for this demo. Just note that these same steps will work with any registrar you choose. I've logged into the IBM Cloud, and I'm going to look up the domain name registration service. Here is where we will register our new domain. First, we need to verify that the domain that I want is actually available. And since it is, I'll go ahead and purchase the domain. I have logged into the AWS portal. The first thing I need to do is look up the Route 53 AWS service. This is the service where you can configure a new hosted zone. Once you've selected the Route 53 service, you need to select Hosted Zones from the left-hand menu. Here, I can create a new hosted zone. It's very important that you give your hosted zone a name that exactly matches the domain name that you purchased in IBM Cloud. I highly recommend you copy and paste the domain name to ensure that there are no typos. Now that the hosted zone is created, we need to take note of the name servers. There are 4 of them in this case, which we will be using in our next step. Now that we have our domain name registered in IBM Cloud and our hosted zone created in AWS, we need to update our domain to point to the AWS name servers. When you complete this step, the changes will take some time to propagate throughout the internet. I highly recommend waiting at least an hour before you attempt to use the domain so that you do not create a negative cache scenario. When you complete this step, it would be a good time to take a break. I will be using the Daffy scripts to build my cluster, but I want to note that there is nothing special about the way I configured my domain or the hosted zone. These same steps will work whether you're using the Daffy scripts to run the OpenShift installer or if you're using the OpenShift installer without the Daffy scripts. There are 4 variables that you will need to set within your Daffy environment variable file. The first one is the base domain. The next is the install type, the AWS region, and the AW access key. Here's an example of my environment file for you to look at. I've run the Daffy scripts to build an OpenShift cluster. The result of that was a success for me. I hope it was for you as well. As you can see, the domain name for my cluster is using the new domain that I purchased and configured within AWS.